he's certainly proved himself, and he had the kind of heat that Vickie Guerrero had. Vickie had so much heat they wouldn't let her talk.
Yeah.
Every time she'd say something, and so Dominic had that same heat, and his was really a lot worse. So he has done a tremendous job, man. I mean, there's no doubt, you can't deny it.
Teddy, I sent you a video. By the way, first of all, welcome to the Wrestling Time Machine. This is our final episode as you're watching this, or a series of little videos that you'll get, which we are going to miss that very much. But Teddy, last week we did a show and you made a comment about Sportskeeda. And I sent you the video. Did you see how they doctored that video a little bit? They put in these things where you said it and the guy goes, he said, what? Stuff like that. I mean, you got to watch it. It was well done by Sportskeeda.
I watched it. I didn't see it.
Well, then you must. Yeah. What time of night was this?
Maybe around 11.
So, yeah. Okay. So he does not remember then. That's for sure.
No.
But go back. But if you haven't seen it yet, go back and watch it. We were talking about, I think Vince McMahon may have been the thumbnail on there, but I thought Sportskeeda, every once in a while, they'll do these little drop-ins on things that we do that are absolutely hilarious and a shock to me when I see them, because I know what's coming. And then when I see that, it surprises even me. And guys, great job on that. And I'm going to miss everybody with Sportskeeda.
That means they liked it.
Yes, they did. And you even commented, I did that for the guys at Sportskeeda. And that's why they kind of, in a roundabout way, commented back saying, we got you. All right, Saturday night main event is coming up soon. And a huge match now has been put together for that. And that is Dominik versus Penta versus Rusev for the Intercontinental Championship. Bill, what do you think is going to happen here? Are we going to see Dominik start getting really pushed to the moon?
If I had to pick a wrestler of the year today, on this date, October 28th, 2025.
And let me make this clear, 1 week after Teddy and I had to tell what ours were last week. But go ahead.
It would be Dominic Mysterio. Or as Teddy likes to say, Dominik Mysterio, because if you look at the way he has grown in terms of a person, in terms of a character, from this tall, lanky kid who didn't know much except what his daddy did, he is just exceptional at this point. He's become a major heel in WWE, and he's the guy I picked for Wrestler of the Year. Because not only that, think of WWE when you ask somebody who's the Wrestler of the Year, it's hard to come up with. But if you really look at things, Dominik has been out there in the main sites. I don't mean websites. I'm talking about the main sites of WWE all year. He's just been growing and growing.
And Teddy, I got to agree with that because, after last week's show, I actually, after the show, was thinking, really, who are the two superstars? And I had a difficult time. I really did, which is another problem altogether. But it did, in my mind, Dominik was the one they could count on. For whatever reason, Dominik and even Sami Zayn, to a point, they could count on recently in WWE. I can't disagree with that. What about you?
Well, I'd like to say, too, Bill hit it right on the head there. I don't think nobody could not agree with that, and I'm like Bill, we watched him when he was a little bitty baby. I used to see him when he was a baby when Ray used to bring him to the shows and stuff. Yeah. So I've known him that long. So, and to see him progress into what he has become today is just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. And you know what I mean? How can you not give it to him? I mean, he's certainly proved himself, and he had the kind of heat that Vickie Guerrero had. Vickie had so much heat they wouldn't let her talk. Yeah. Every time she'd say something, and so Dominik had that same heat, and his was really a lot worse. So he has done a tremendous job, man. I mean, there's no doubt, you can't deny it.
Yeah, Dominik has done a fantastic. Dominik, now you got me saying it. Dominik, he really has done a fantastic job.
Because you're on something.
Yeah, yeah. I'm taking Tick Crack. I got some from Bill while you weren't looking here. Pass me another one.
Of course.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I got it now. There we go. All right. Let me ask you another question while we're on that subject.
Y'all got anybody y'all want me to call later if something happens?
Nobody cares.
Somebody call somebody.
You had mentioned that when people think of who are the names and the big stars in WWE, that people would have a hard time coming up with a lot of names like you did, and you had to come to Dominic. Isn't that a problem if you have to think that hard? Because there was a time you could look at WWE's TV, Attitude Era. I'll always go back to it because it was a great time. But if you go back to the Attitude Era, people can name off not just one, but probably 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can't even name one.
Today it's the brand. Today it's not the wrestlers. It's the brand that is pushed. I just talked about this at a seminar in Florida, and I had 100.
Might better wake up that group. They're probably still asleep. Go ahead.
Oh,
yeah.
I had 135 people that I was chatting with on down in Florida, and I asked people, just name me a WWE wrestler. And one or two said Cody Rhodes, and the others were like, and they a lot of them still follow the current product, but they rather go back to YouTube and watch the Attitude Era, the Bret Hart stuff, the Shawn Michaels stuff, the Undertaker. They couldn't really come up with names, so it's the brand that is the brand instead of a Hulk Hogan or a Shawn Michaels or a Bret Hart, Steve Austin.
Teddy, can a group like WWE survive that way?
Oh, of course.
Just be living on the brand and not living on the stars, because if you don't have stars.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? They'll mix it up. Okay, they'll create some stars. You know what I mean? That's not an easy job, creating a star. That's a hard job unless the guy has it. If you say like Hogan, The Rock, those guys had it. You know what I mean? So it wasn't so hard for them to get over because they knew how to get over. But you got some guys that know they're stars and I mean that they're stars and don't even know it. So trying to push them and get it in their head to what you really are and who you really are, that's kind of hard sometimes. So, but they'll survive this. I don't think it'll hurt them at all.
Now, neither do I. Just saying WWE fans know what's coming to the town.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about another match on Saturday night's main event, and this involves the ladies, Tiffany Stratton versus Jade Cargill, added for the WWE Women's Championship. Jade coming back with a little bit of attitude, a new look. Actually, I love the look she had the other night in the all black and silver, kind of with the white or silverish kind of hair. Very cool. I think it was a great presentation for her. But Bill, do we see Jade actually getting a win over Tiffany, or is Tiffany? You do?
Yeah, I think Jade has now. They needed to do something more with her because I think she was stuck on the same level. So in AEW she was a heel, and everybody loved her healing, and it's about time they're going to do it now. Yeah, I think Jade Cargill is going to take the title.
Wow. Teddy, you agree with that?
Yeah, I really do agree with that. Like Bill was saying, she is a phenomenal athlete, and I had the opportunity, to work with her before she even got on top, before she even went to NXT.
Yeah, she was at Face to Face in Atlanta.
Yeah,
right?
She was at the wrestling school there in Atlanta. So so I had the chance to work with her and talk with her there, and what a nice girl. So she has a great look. Her working skills in the ring have become absolutely great. So I think that they're going to give her the win, and I believe they're going to, run with her a little bit now. They've already been pushing her, but she's had a few setbacks. But I think everything's, she's over some of that stuff that she was involved with. I think she was in some movie stuff and then an injury or whatever. So I think it's her time. So we'll see what happens.
I'd like to see.
Mac, what wrestling school were you talking about in Atlanta?
Face to Face was a wrestling. It's no longer there, but it was in the Atlanta area. Teddy was working there at one time as well. That's where I met Jade as well with Teddy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.